Participatory Ecological Land Use Management, PELUM Zambia, has called for reduced funding towards the Farmer Input Support Program, FISP. PELUM Country Coordinator Mukotoi Wamunyima says the FISP must also be realigned to minimize dependence on fertilizer hybrid seeds. Mr. Wamunyima regrets that the FISP takes up a large chunk of money, which he said can go to other services such as extension services. He says to ensure agriculture sustainability and productivity, there is a need to promote organic agriculture. More in this report.
In the 2022 national budget, the government has allocated 5,372,670,459 kwacha towards the Farmer Input Support Program, FISP. However, most of the money goes towards the procurement of seeds and fertilizer, and some stakeholders say the trend has been contributing to the over-commercialization of the agriculture sector as farmers become highly dependent on chemical fertilizer, hybrid seeds, and weed killers, among other things, thus making farming expensive. The story on delayed supply of fertilizer under the FISP program in Eastern Province, Chipangali District, is among examples of how farming in Zambia has become highly dependent on fertilizer.
Hello, Chanjaisti. Tonses, is it 62 cooperatives? Tikalibotenga na manje.
Tabula kuno tifuna fertilizer yatu. Lomba mvula yagwa, vimilisi bakula. Tifuna milisi tikatire fertilizer. So choka kuno tifuna fertilizer ili pasogolese tilipambui.
Chokera kwa chanje. Fertilizer. Mtisunga bwanji pankani ya fertilizer. Nikali tinapeleka ndarama mjuni.
It is for this reason that other stakeholders have been emphasizing on the need to farm God's way in form of organic agriculture, which is a production system that sustains the health of soils, ecosystems, and people. It relies on ecological processes, biodiversity, and cycles adapted to local conditions rather than the use of inputs with diverse effects. Organic agriculture combines traditional innovation and science to benefit the shared environment and promote fair relationships and good quality of life for all involved.
Because it's not everyone who is able to manage to buy fertilizer. This way of farming, farming God's way, will help the majority of Zambians to produce more food.
Participatory Ecological Land Use Management PELUM Country Coordinator Mukotoi Wamunyima is calling for changes on the FISP program.
You find that programs like research and development, extension services, which is very important for small-scale farmers, is affected. Farmers are not receiving extension help from government because of non-availability of resources. So we want to see a trend where resources going to FISP are reduced.
It says the FISP must also be realigned to minimize dependence on fertilizer and hybrid seeds.
Farmers have become dependent on fertilizer, so they have to grow their crops with fertilizer. Without fertilizer, they cannot manage to have any yields. But if they can introduce organic fertilizers, for instance, that will enrich the organic matter of the soil, then that would help farmers reduce their dependency on fertilizers and be able to get manure which is readily available and cheaper for farmers, unlike fertilizers which is quite high. And also hybrid seeds, the fact that once you grow a hybrid seed, you cannot reuse it. So farmers have to buy seed every year. But with indigenous seed, you are able to grow your crops and then keep some of the seed for the next 2-3 years, so you don't spend money on seed for 2.
I also spoke to former Agriculture Minister Bob Sichinga.
So yes, this is an important component for us, to have in terms of our diversification program from FISP. So FISP needs to be revamped, it needs to be revised, it needs to be changed altogether in terms of its approach.
Meanwhile, Matthews Muhuru is the civil society organization Scaling Up Nutrition Alliance Country Coordinator.
The Farmer Input Support Program that also predominantly, supports maize production by giving maize seed as well as fertilizers. And then on the market side, you see also FRA coming in to just purchase about 3 crops that, does not really speak to the whole effort of diversifying our agriculture as well as also the crops that, smallholder farmers are producing.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News.